2019. I had 1500 in my account, but I knew in my heart I had to go back. I missed home, I missed me, so I packed my bag and moved back to India. So now, as I'm sitting on the flight back to India, I'm thinking to myself, how crazy is this? I lived in this country in the UK for almost a year now, and I'm going back home. Sort of like that was the feeling I had. And as soon as I touch down, I meet my friend Samarth. He comes, picks me up from the airport, and there's this sense of anxiety as he's driving because of the chaos. Like I was not used to that, like the way it's been so long, and I was so used to the UK discipline of driving that I almost panicked. But the first thing I told him was, "Hey, I've been missing Indian food. Let's go have some delicious Indian food. I want to have like some good kebabs, masala dosa, like a proper masala dosa." And it's night, and he takes me to this place, like a proper restaurant where you get both vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and I built up all the food that I've been craving, and I'm satiated. And I remember, man, we're back home, baby. We made it. And yeah, that was like such a wholesome experience. And and now I'm just basically settling into this new routine. So when I reached back to Bangalore, the whole reason for coming back home that I had and that I told my parents was my cousin sister was getting married. And so that was kind of the reason I used. But I knew that once I went back to India, I would tell my parents that, hey, like I don't plan on coming back, and it's not just a wedding thing. It's like I want to focus on myself. I want to focus on building my own business up, because I was into fitness. I was into my calisthenics community, and I wanted to take that to a different level. So I thought, hey, why not focus on that? So that was the thing. And because my cousin sister was getting married, I could use that as a reason. And another thing is, I was never used to living by myself. I was always taken care of by my parents. And yes, most of us Indians are. Not all of us, most of us are. I fall into that category who was taken care of. My dad would cook for me, my mom would cook for me. And this was a whole new experience, a whole new chapter of my life where I would have to learn to live by myself, have to learn to take care of myself. And this was scary and exciting. Luckily for me, I lived on our house was my grandma and my uncle stayed on like the ground floor, and I lived on the second floor. My We had tenants. We had people who are renting from us who stayed on the first floor. So my grandma, she kindly offered to cook a meal for me, a lunch or dinner, whatever. But she said I was welcome to eat all three meals at her place, but I chose to just restrict maybe to one meal, and that would be like a vegetarian. My grandma was predominantly vegetarian, and so I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe only one meal should be fine in case, and that was like a backup. So I would try and cook my own food. This was a new chapter for me where I didn't know to cook anything. Like literally, like what I would do is I remember I would, and you could probably relate to this. You can understand that if you're somebody. The only thing I would know to cook was like I could make an omelette and maybe cook some decent rice. Even that, being an Asian, imagine you don't know to cook rice. But that was a learning process for me, and I was learning. So that was quite interesting for me to learn these things. But it was exciting, and I was learning how to buy groceries, ration them out, and then cook my meals for the week. And I would be kind of lazy, so I would find hacks how to do these things. Now that was my routine, sort of a thing. Wake up, work out, cook my meals, and then chillax or whatever. So I finished my cousin sister's wedding. That month's done. Forward next month, we had a calisthenic competition that was coming up, that was organized like a national competition for all of India. And my team, my calisthenics team, was participating in it. And my girlfriend also, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, obviously, she also was taking part in it. So I decided I hadn't trained for it. So I thought, okay, let me support them, let me be there. So we all went together over there as a team, and I met my old gym that I used to work for, Multifit. I met them over there, and they were like, hey, yo, like, what are you doing, like, back? I thought you went to the UK. And then I told them, no, I decided to move back. And my manager, the manager who was there when I first joined the gym, he was still the manager. And he in fact said, Ashwin, if you're looking for a job, we do have a position open. I realized that I don't want to work full time. So I told him, you know what, let me just think about it. Maybe I'll just work part time with you guys. And the rest of the time I'm going to focus on myself and my own business. So I take the job offer, and now my new routine is basically wake up and go to gym. I would go in the gym in the morning. I had a few personal training clients who were really awesome, and I helped them achieve a lot of their personal goals. So yes, I am a I am a calisthenics coach and a fitness trainer. So don't really specialize in calisthenics, but that was what I started in. So I if and people mainly come to me because of that, because that's kind of like my niche. But I do focus on every aspect of fitness. I'm kind of crazy about that. And I would take those classes, run those sessions. It would be half day. I would start at like 5:36 and it would go on till 10:30 or 11 ish. Take those classes, go back home, relax, have a nap, have my lunch, sorry, have a lunch, take a nap, and then wake up and then head to the park, run the classes over there, grow the community, like help build that up. And I had two other friends and my girlfriend. We would kind of manage the community. We would try and expand it, grow it, and see where we can run classes, where we could run workshops. So they would help me out as well, and we were doing it together. And what happened was, after as we were doing this, slowly down the line, I was like, oh, this I'm building the kind of life I want to build. I'm living the kind of dream I had when I was back in UK, what I was missing, what I wanted to do, and I'm doing that. But somewhere down the line, what happened was, I was still feeling something, like, like this sense of this. I don't know. The fire was starting to die down, sort of. I'm not sure why, or I'm not sure what. And we're taking these classes at a studio that we were renting. So there was a space, a yoga space, and they wanted to run calisthenics classes there, but they didn't have their own coach. So we told them, we had a deal with them where we would rent out that space and we would run classes over there. So I was doing that, and that when we started doing that, and I needed to focus more on that, I quit the job at the gym, and I completely focused on this because this was like our baby. So we're running this, and as you're young, you're full of uh, you're full of passion and I don't know what else, but my head was filled with thoughts and ambition, and I wanted to take this forward. So my girlfriend wanted to also run classes and expand in her area as well. She wanted to run like a branch, and she asked me, hey, can I start like my own thing over there? And I told her, babe, why don't we build CB up, and that's what we call it, CB, calisthenic beast. Why don't we build CB up to a level where we can start CB itself as a franchise? And so I tell this to my two other friends who I considered almost like business partners at that time. And I tell them, hey, and like, I want to make my girlfriend also a part of this, because she's been there from the very start. Like, when I was zero, she had been there with me when I was zero, and she put in the work and effort and energy into this, and to build this up to a level where she was also promoting it. And she her Instagram handle itself was CB girl, and everyone knew her as that. And she was a national champion, by the way. Among the women, she was a national champion. And I told them that I want to make her also a part of this, and we had a dispute over that. And when you're young, you don't think. So it ended up ruining our friendship. We stopped talking to each other. That's me and my these two friends of mine. We stopped talking to each other, and I kind of I kind of felt lost, or I don't know what I felt. It was this mix of emotions running through me, and I'm running these class. I continued running these classes with my girlfriend at that time, and then we were running, and then you had the China
Comes from
virus,
China.
as Trump likes to call it. COVID hit. And I remember when COVID started, it wasn't a big thing. Nobody was talking about it. It wasn't a big deal at that time initially. And all of a sudden it ramps up and there's so many cases, countries are going into lockdown. And I remember India, the prime minister announcing the lockdown and everything's going to be shut. And I'm like, yo, what? And I wasn't prepared for this because I wasn't too much into I was like my social media game was good, but I did not kind of prepare for this. And we shut down, everything shut down. And at this point, we are running our classes, but then after a while what happens was we can't sustain it because the clients are not too happy with running classes online. And we also didn't feel it because again at the end of the day our passion was to run it in person. And when people are together, when people are mixing together, the vibe is different, the energy is different. Whereas if you're just doing something online, I bet even the Gen Z kids who studied online, like, they can relate to this, like studying in person and studying online. Like, it doesn't work that way, it doesn't feel the same. So we just wanted to we just wanted to say, okay, fine, let's put it on hold. Maybe it's just a 1 month thing, a 2 month thing. And then the classes come to a hold. Basically, we say we put the class on pause and we'll open once the lockdown's lifted. And at that point, my routine starts, a new routine starts. I wake up, I work out at home, I game for a while. I just game for a while. I remember playing Apex like late nights, and I became so good at Apex at that phase in my life. I remember me and the boys, we would those sessions. I think most of you can relate to it. Like during the lockdown, everyone was like online gaming, and most of you guys would be online gaming. I remember we would just play Apex all the time. Like we would just level up our battle pass from 0 to 100 like in a matter of like 2-3 weeks or something. I don't know, we were gaming that much. There's a part of me thinking, yo, my guy, what are you doing? What's your plan in life? Like, where's this heading to? You said you came here to live your dream. What are you doing? And I'm thinking about money at that time as well. Like where's the money coming from? Where's the money going to come from? And I end up having sleepless nights. I'm just constantly like, what am I going to do about this? And I think to myself, yo, I need to I need to do something differently now. I can't do this the same. And there's no sign of lockdown lifting. And what happens is my parents call me up one day and they tell me, I am in touch with them frequently, but I remember this because they call me up and they say, "Hey, it's been some time now, almost months now. You haven't said anything about what you're doing, like you coming back or not." And they used to. I never used to ask for financial help from them. I always had pride in myself. But they would often like send me maybe like £100, which is like 10,000 rupees or something, to India once in 2 months or something like that. And I'm grateful for that to them. They in fact even helped me buy a moped for myself so that I could travel, because we had one but it was old. And I realized, you know what, I wasn't making as much money, or I didn't have the business knowledge at that time to scale up what I was doing. So, and also everything that happened, it kind of affected me. So I wasn't in the right mental space. So they tell me, hey, why don't you come to the UK for a vacation? Come meet us. You haven't met us for a while. So they play their parent card, and they play at my emotional heartstrings. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine, let me go visit my parents. And after that, let me. And also, this was a very interesting time now because I was into gaming a lot. The PS5 was releasing this year, and this was, I think, 2020. The PS5 was releasing, and I planned it in such a way that, okay, let me go in October, let me finish my girlfriend's birthday and go in October and get the PS5, be there for some time, and then come back. And I tell my girlfriend, hey, I'm going to the UK to visit my parents, spend a holiday with them, and then come back. And this is when lockdown had just lifted and things were not very open, but things were allowed to run, get back to normalcy. So classes are running, schools are open now, people are going to work, etc. So I tell her, can you please run the classes and we'll manage it like that, and we'll see how it goes. So she's all right with that. I tell her, and in my head I'm like, I'm going for 3 months, so I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, gonna have a vacation and everything. So I book a one-way ticket, and I fly back to the UK. And now I fly, I'm in the air, and I'm thinking to myself, like, when I'm in the air, a part of me is like, when I was in India, I wasn't, I don't know, I didn't, I was thinking about UK. Once in a while, I would think about UK, but I was still thinking about UK, and I was like, the life over there was different. It was nice, it was peaceful. Back in India, I'm constantly thinking about financial burdens and constraints, and I don't know. That was in my head. And what I did was, then I landed. My dad comes picks me up. My dad and mom come pick me up from the airport. We're going back, and I'm in the UK. And then when I'm in the UK, there's another lockdown over here in the UK. And guess what? I had to pre-order the PS5, or I wouldn't be able to buy it. So I'm like, that's gone now. That's out of the picture. The PS5 is. But what happens then is, I start thinking as I'm going about exploring these places that I would go to when I was first in the UK. Watch the UK video for that. And I think to myself, like, did I actually give UK a proper chance? Like, think about it. Like, I said to myself, I didn't go out, make friends. I didn't put effort to make good, wholesome friendships around where I lived. I would isolate myself, and I would I would just remain in the dark, sort of, like, with myself. I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't put in that effort. So I thought, would UK be different if I actually did that? And fast forward now, I that one decision that I took, that to put in that effort, has drastically changed my life. But I won't talk about that now. Let me go back to the past. So I decided at that time, you know what? Maybe I should give UK a better chance. Maybe I should put in that effort. And I call up my girlfriend and I tell her, hey, I want to try it out over here and see how things go. And honestly, I think I have no regrets deciding to come back over here and leaving India. And now it's a whole new life over here for me. And I mean, everything is completely different. I have such good friends. I have people I can rely on. I have an amazing life over here, traveling, enjoying. And in fact, I even bought my girlfriend when we married. I bought her over here, and we even own a house now in the UK. So how did all of this happen? I want to share more of this with you guys. I want to tell what I did to make friends, balancing life, finding a job in the UK, and how you can do all of this and still, like, have a good balanced life. I mean, like, hustling and have a good balanced life. I want to share all of this with you guys, and also hopefully make this YouTube thing work. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or you have any doubts about or anything you want to ask me under the sun, comment down below. I would love to discuss with you guys and see if anybody else is going through the same thing. Also, if you wouldn't mind supporting the channel, you can watch either one of these videos over here. Hope I'm pointing the right place. And yeah, subscription would be appreciated. And don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Anyways, take care. Love you all. See you.